Yo, what's happening, everybody? My name is Danny Matthews, and today we are going to learn how to use Adobe Premiere. So, if you've never used it before, today I will teach you how to use it. So, as I said before, if you have never used Adobe Premiere, today I'm going to teach you how to use it. As a video editor, this software can be overwhelming at first. When you look at it, you're like, "Whoa, what the heck is this?" But listen, I promise you that once I break it down, it will be more understandable, and then you can learn for yourself once you start experimenting with more things within the software. So let's go ahead and dive into this thing. All right, guys, so we're in Adobe Premiere, and as you look at this entire layout, you're probably like, what the heck am I looking at? Let me give you the rundown on what the heck you're looking at. So here, these are all called panels. This whole place is called your workspace. So I'm going to break it down that way you understand exactly what's going on. So once we have all of these panels, we have all of these tabs above us here. We have assembly, editing, color, effects, audio, graphics, caption, and libraries. Now, you won't use all of these once you start getting into the group of things, but the main things you will be using is editing, color, and graphics. Later on, I'll explain why editing, color, and graphics are going to be your main tabs that you're going to be in. So guys, let me give you the rundown on these tools. So this is kind of like the main thing that you're going to want to understand and remember and really learn this. All right guys, so I went ahead and imported some footage that way you guys can get an idea of what we're working with. So here's our timeline. This is where all of your editing is going to be happening. All the magic and all the really cool stuff that you guys are going to have is right here. So in our timeline, we have one clip. We got the audio, and then we got the visual on top. That is what every single clip is going to look like unless you do other things that become more complex down the road. But for your understanding, you are going to have the visual clip right here and then your audio clip on the bottom. Once you get into Adobe Premiere, your best friend is going to be this toolbar right here. These are all your little tools that you get to use to create amazing and beautiful things. So this is kind of where your basics come into play. And I'll kind of give you a rundown on what everything looks like. So we got the selection tool. Guys, this tool is super simple. I'm selecting things. That's it. Self-explanatory. Here we got the track select forward tool. This tool is going to be moving everything on your timeline, guys. So I have this track move forward, right? And I click on this, it will move everything that is past these arrows. This will only move what's in front, see? And then here, the same exact thing. It will only move what is in front. All right, guys, in here we have our ripple edit tool. So basically when there's a cut in your clip, you can come here to either clip and change the duration of it, how long the clip is. And basically what it's going to do is have this whole clip snap right back into it, just like that. Boom, boom, really cool. And then after that, we have our clipping tool, which is how you're going to cut footage. You can make as many cuts as you want, and that allows you to do boom, 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 boom. This is how you cut. Here we have the ripple edit tool. Now this tool is kind of unique. I actually use it a whole lot in my editing endeavors. So say you have a clip that has been clipped, right? And you clipped it to your liking. It's whatever you like. And you come over here to use this tool. You can come in here and start shifting the footage to where you actually want it placed without changing the entire clip. You already clipped it to how long you want it, but now you get to show the parts that you want to show of the clip. Next, we have our pen tool. Now, this pen tool doesn't really have too much to do in this timeline here. It does have an important part where you can use this pen tool and you can come into the clip specifically by double clicking on these layers right here, and it will open it up. So go ahead and open it up and you can take a look at it, and you can use your pen tool to select on this line here. So we have our line right here, and you can go back to your selection tool here, and you can then adjust the points that you placed on here. So basically you are, putting points on a line, and with your selection tool, you can move around with your points and adjust whatever effect that we'll get into effects later. But basically, whatever is on here, that is a line that you can put points on. That is the best way to really explain it to you. After the pen tool, we have our hand tool. Now our hand tool, I don't use it that much because there's keyboard shortcuts that you can down the road you'll learn keyboard shortcuts. But basically, you got this hand tool that you can move around in your timeline. So you can like this, just back and forth or up and down once you have a whole lot of clips. Like I'm talking 40, 50 clips. You'll get there one day, I promise. And you can just move back and forth with your hand tools. Down here we have the last tool that is very handy. It is our text tool. It is what we're going to be using on the screen. All you got to do is just click on the screen and boom, you can start typing. Hi there. All right, guys, simple as that. And what happens in your timeline that you'll notice, you have this pink layer here and it has the graphic that you have. And then this whole thing plays into our graphics tab that I was speaking about earlier, which comes in handy. So we can go ahead and delete that. But guys, you have just now completed all of the tools to make a basic video. As it comes to moving clips around and stuff like that, guys, we have a timeline that you can go to any layer that you want and move it to wherever you want to go. As simple as that. Once we come into our timeline, there's a couple things that you need to know about your timeline. We have these things up here that are very important. Our main things that we're going to look at is this snap tool, snap and timeline. This is very important. So you see how you can pull this clip back and then come over here and you see that line right there where it connects the two clips. If we click on the snap in timeline and take it off, it is now disabled. So we can move clips around and see how it doesn't have that line connecting it. It's not going to snap in and we have the freedom to move it wherever we want. It comes in handy when you want to do really precise editing. But for the most part, I would just leave that enabled. Guys, very important that you learn this now and here. This is the most important thing that you will ever learn in your life about editing. Save your project as much as you can remember. What do I mean by that? Hey, I'm doing an edit right now and I just remembered that, hey, let me save my footage. Come over here to File and you're going to come down to Save, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Control S. And you are going to save your project. I cannot tell you how important this is to do as much as you can, because that day when you work on a huge edit and Adobe Premiere decides to crash on you and you didn't save it for the past hour. A quick story time. One time I was working on a wedding about 3 years ago. I was working on the first wedding actually that I've ever done in my life. I have been editing this video for 6 hours and I forgot to save, and Adobe Premiere crashed on me. Thankfully, I had a backup from 6 hours ago that I can go to some of the edit that I had. Save your projects. Okay, so guys, we have learned everything in this timeline and everything in this toolbar that gets you off the ground to edit simple video. This will be your friend and you will want to use this toolbar as much as possible. A couple more things to just know about on your editing endeavors is what I like to call them. Down here we have our audio files. We have our solo track. We have our mute track, and then we also have a lock, and we also have a record voiceover. Now these are very self-explanatory, but if you didn't know where they are, here they are now. So the mute track is going to be muting any audio that comes from that waveform. The solo track is going to only play that track that is selected. What do I mean by that? Where this S is right here, where it is yellow, that is the only audio track that will play because that one is selected. Now say you select this audio track, these are the only two that are going to be playing. That is what solo track means. That is selected to be the only one playing. Over here we have our lock. This will lock the audio file, or for the video, it will also lock the video. This just locks it so you can't make any changes to it. Very helpful down the road. Now one last thing we have is this eye toggle. Basically makes it invisible. I know that was a lot of information that you just learned for newcomers and people who probably never opened up Adobe Premiere, or maybe you have and you just don't really know everything that's going on in Adobe Premiere. We have just learned a little tidbit of Adobe Premiere. I know there's a lot, I know, but just to give you a recap on everything that we just did, here's our toolbar. Here is some additional selection for our timeline. We have additional settings for the video and the audio clips specifically right down the road. I'll get into what the V1 and the A1 means because it gets a little bit complicated down the road. Now guys, that is editing in the timeline. Basically over here we have our default project panel. Now if you go back to the video that I was talking about earlier today, you will see how to use this, how to organize, how to use folders. I suggest going in there instead of trying to figure out on your own. So as we go through these panels, we have a media browser, we have a library, we have info, we have markers, we have history. So many panels. I know. Don't worry about them. We're not getting to those. They're not important right now. Down the road, we'll get to them. We have an effects panel right here. This is where every single effect that you can possibly imagine to put on a video clip exists. You know, those really cool transitions back in 2019 or 2020, I don't remember when, that did the pans and the swoops and the whooshes. They're all up in here. You just, import them. They're all up in here. Anyway, over here we have an effects control panel. Basically, this will be the controller of a video clip. What does that mean? So say you have a video game and you're using a controller to operate a player in the game. That is what this panel is. So once we click on this video clip, right, we have selected this video clip. This effects control now controls this video clip. This is my controller. This is my player, if we're using the video game terminology. This is where everything is going to live for that video clip. We have motion, we have opacity, we have time remapping, we have this thing, we have audio, we can put effects in here, you can do so many things. We'll get down to that down the road. Basically, what you need to know is that every effect or anything that changes this video clip exists in this effects control. We have our position, our scale, our rotation, our anchor point, all of this stuff, again, we'll get down the road too. But you can play around with this and it's very self-explanatory of what it is. You just need to know that this effects control affects whatever clip is selected. Now remember, it's what is selected. And yes, it also works for audio. Over here is our program panel. This panel will show everything that you are doing in this timeline. So right now I don't have anything, right now, I don't have anything going on besides video footage, correct? On this, we have our video. If we were to put text, you would see the text in here. You would see anything. It's going to be your final output for your video. That is what our program panel is. Down here, we have a bunch of little things that are probably going to blow your mind, plus this plus thing with even more. We're not going to get to that yet. We'll get down to all these little things, but I want you to understand the basics to create a basic edit. Over here, we have our audio levels. This will show how loud or how quiet something is based off of decibel levels. You can see the audio decibels right there. We're hitting around -5 audio decibels. This is where I'm gonna stop this because there's just so much more information that we can add into this video, but this tutorial could literally be 2 or 3 hours. But I just wanted to hit what is going on and how to create a basic video edit. Guys, don't be overwhelmed. It looks like a whole lot, but once you start getting into the groove of things and start doing your basic edits, you'll be a-okay. Trust me, you'll be a-okay. Look at this. You now know how to do a basic edit. You have your toolbar. Once you have your understanding of your toolbar, you're really good to go. You can cut, you can make corrections and delete stuff. And also, if you're unsure how to delete a video clip, you are going to come here and click it. And you can either hit delete or backspace on your keyboard. And it will get rid of that video clip forever. No, I'm just kidding. No, if you use the keyboard shortcut Control-Z, that is your best friend to get anything back that you can possibly imagine. Trust me, I've used that way too many times. Anywho, down the road, I'll come out with more tutorials talking about all of these panels. I just wanted to touch on your editing tab because this is the most important thing. Well guys, now you have the basic understanding of how to create an edit in Adobe Premiere. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and leave a comment and I will get back to you ASAP. And if you guys still have questions about the project panel where you import all your footage and organizing, like I said, go back to that video that I created, how to organize in Adobe Premiere. That will give you the best understanding of how to organize the best way and how to organize in your computer as well. So like in your Finder or in your Explorer folder. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching this and I will see you in the next video.